Hey guys, All in Crypto here, and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for another YouTube video. I hope you've all had a fantastic Friday. I know we have a fantastic video lined up for you today. We are going to be diving into Cardano, and we're going to be doing a number of things in this video. However, as it is Friday evening, I am going to keep this short and sweet. It's going to be quite a chart-focused video. We're going to be recapping on yesterday's video where we were calling for sort of further potentially a small pullback before we set up structure for continuation. So we'll do a quick recap there. We're going to be looking at Bitcoin, of course. We're going to be going over a bit of the news at the end of the video. And we've got this is an article from the Nasdaq, 2 top cryptocurrencies to buy and hold forever. And of course, Cardano is their number one, or the first mention that they give. So we'll fly into that. Also talking about Snoop Dogg and his partnership with the CNFT project. And I have a sneak peek of an interview that I'm releasing on Sunday. And this interview, essentially, it involves somebody who I have great respect for, who I think has a very good understanding of not just the cryptocurrency markets, but markets across the board. And the interview is a really important one that I took a lot from, and I think you guys will. We don't just talk about Cardano or crypto. We talk about finance in general. We talk about monetary systems and everything associated. And I actually asked him, and he very politely did, to give a few words on Cardano and potentially where we are. He's a far better trader than myself, and somebody that's been in markets for a lot longer than I have, for longer than I've been alive, in fact. And I'll give you guys a sneak peek of his quick run through of Cardano, because things actually look pretty positive and a potential reversal from the lows that we could have potentially seen at around about 80 cents, maybe in sort of taking us back up to new all-time highs potentially, but we'll talk about that. So let's get straight into it, guys. The overall market is doing really what the cryptocurrency market does. And really, if you want to talk about the overall market, and we'll delete the RSI here, you really want to talk about Bitcoin. And in the earlier video we put out yesterday, or today, sorry, we called for potential resistance and support flip here. We were looking at the fact that this is beautiful structure. You've got this very, very significant level of resistance. It's previously been support at certain points that is now essentially acting as support. So we've had a support and resistance flip. So what was once resistance, significant resistance, is now indeed support. And this is out of a ascending triangle. One thing that we've been keeping our eyes on for Bitcoin that actually looks really good is the MACD bullish cross. And one thing that we've highlighted, and we have said to people, and it kind of ties in with why we thought ADA would have a little bit of a pullback that would actually invalidate the structure that we're potentially moving towards, but I'll let Francis talk a little bit more about that when we get into the sneak peek of the interview that I've done. You know, whenever you get this MACD bullish cross, you can see you always have a period of kind of consolidation before you get that continuation. You know, we'll just highlight 2, but you can go further back. You can do this for yourself if you bring up the MACD cross. Very typical that you get a kind of consolidation period before, you know, you continue trending upwards. And that looks likely given what's playing out today. You know, history is very much repeating. Same story for Cardano on the weekly MACD. And certainly the structure that we're in doesn't look too bad at all. We'll drop it down to the daily, and we'll quickly play yesterday's video where we were calling for a little bit of a pullback to around about that $1.10 before potentially, you know, setting up structure to see further upside. Cardano chart, and it's very significant. So a bit of me is anticipating a small pullback based on a number of things, but ultimately I think that's going to set up structure for that continuation. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if we sort of pulled back to around about your $1.10 mark, maybe even a little bit less before we get further upside continuation. So I'm not worried. You guys know that I'm cautiously optimistic. So just a quick clip. We have indeed seen that. You know, this wick took us right down to your sort of $1.10 pretty much exactly, and we have seen quite a nice wick come in and buy up this daily candle. What I would like to see is what we're going to get into next. And Francis really, you know, gave his opinion. Remember, nothing is guaranteed of what potentially could come next for Cardano, and he was calling for the kind of run that we got all the way up to sort of $1.25, a potential little bit above it, and then setting up a potential head and shoulders. So we'll dive into that clip, and then we will finish the video up on a little bit of news, and I will leave you to your Friday evenings. So let's get into it, guys. Very short and sweet one. This is an interview. It's over an hour long that I did with Francis Hunt. He goes by the Market Sniper, the Crypto Sniper, and of course the Reset Sniper. Like I say, somebody that's been in markets for longer than I have been alive. I consider him to be a valuable, very valuable source of information. You can see here Cardano was at your sort of $1.10. We hadn't quite made that $1.25 run, but I'll let you guys listen to what he has to say in regards to Cardano and a potential journey that it may now be on.
It's early doors to call all forms of reversal, but if you're a blue pot investor, that's certainly encouraging. By the way, this is I'll give you something bullish for your ADA fans in this. This is a little bit of a non-standard double bottom, and note how the 1 is the key level. You get a bit more of a rounded bottom here, which is typical of the volatility reducing, which is good. Lowering the volatility generally is more bullish. When you get skittish volatility, it's usually bearish. So when they say it's getting volatile out there, the talking heads on CNBC, it usually means the market's going down. So this is your double bottom that you've got, and there's a target that would be generated by that. I would take the key level of significance as 80, not the absolute low of that spike, and I'd run it up to there. So that's 120 is certainly on for ADA, and then a little bit more. You then start to reach localized previous highs at 125. What you'd ideally like to see is maybe an inverted head and shoulders at 125. If that's a neckline, we just draw that again now. So we drew the double bottom for you with a volatile one butt cheek and then a slightly more rounded other. What you wanted to do is to run 125, put a little wick through it, maybe have a little rest down and give you a right shoulder like that. Then you'll have left shoulder, you'll have the slightly lower double rounded bottom that we've already alluded to, which gives you the initial target up to the 120s stroke 125. So that would give you a target there. And then you get a new target, which is now all the way from 80 to 125. So that's about 45. So you start stacking 45 on 125. Everybody starts to feel a lot better about their ADA holdings. And before you know it, you're at 170 again. And then the same thing can happen. You get nestled inverted head and shoulders. So let me draw in a different color. You can eventually get, you move up to this level at 150. You have a new left shoulder there. This is all one big head that reverses back up here. You have a rest again. You have another right shoulder. So you're in a series of what we call nestling reversals that could take place. So there's a bit of assumption in here that I've done, but the probabilities of that happening are a little bit better than is normal. So you've got this evidence for reversal. The momentum is good. You smashed the $1. I think you'll carry through to the 120, 125 range. So your ADA guys are going to do all right. The question is what happens when that deflationary event occurs and how far away is it?
I'll leave you on a bit of a cliffhanger there, guys. We will be releasing that interview on hopefully Sunday. I thoroughly took a lot from it. Like I say, we don't just talk about Cardano. We don't just talk about crypto. We talk about the debt markets. We talk about the yield curve. We talk about everything to do with what's going on at the moment, including world events, as it is something as crypto investors that I believe you guys and myself and everybody should pay attention to, because there is an absolute direct correlation with our markets, or the cryptocurrency space. I call them our markets, the crypto markets, and markets elsewhere, and of course global events, monetary policy, geopolitics. Everything's very correlated, and not a lot is kind of put to chance. So what Francis was essentially calling for is a potential head and shoulder structure here. Hopefully we get that weaker right shoulder. This of course would be your left shoulder. This is your head, and then obviously your right shoulder, which is nicely weaker. That could potentially be it. We don't know. You could come a little bit deeper with this, and then you get that break. So if we do this kind of somewhat accurately, I say, as I do it very roughly, you could be looking at a move to potentially your sort of $1.80, $1.70 mark, potentially colliding with this over here, setting up another head and shoulders, and then looking at that continuation. You could potentially have something like that take place where we kind of structure our way back up to highs. And remember, there's a lot going on for Cardano eternally. with the actual project. We've got the hard fork, the Vasil hard fork coming up, which is hugely significant. There's always been a run up to prior hard forks. Also, one thing that Francis spoke about, but you guys will see it all on Sunday, is that Charles's approach to things, you know, it's all starting to happen now. For a while, it's been a lot of peer reviewing things and sort of talk about things and how to do it. Now, everything is getting put into action, and that actually may serve Cardano very, very well. But we've got the Vasil hard fork in June. We've also got this MACD cross, and there's a lot going on within the ecosystem. So things actually look pretty good. And he spoke at the end very briefly there about a deflationary event, but you guys are going to have to hold on till Sunday for that interview to kind of get the full scope of what we were talking about. And I guarantee you it's a well worth the hour of watch time because you'll get a wealth of knowledge from somebody who, you know, in my opinion, is the real deal when it comes to markets. So that's really what we're looking at. You know, Bitcoin's playing ball, Cardano's playing ball. You know, we have seen a bit of a rest. Just basically very, very common to see a rest after such an impulsive move like we've seen. Let's get into some of the news. This is two top cryptocurrencies to buy and hold forever. This is an article from the Nasdaq. Very, very interesting how the Nasdaq is quite frequently covering crypto now. But when you think about Cardano and you think about crypto generally, and just how early it is in terms of adoption, in terms of the journey that it's on. You know, it is the future. Blockchain absolutely is the future in one form or another. You know, this is what the article is somewhat getting at, you know, that it may serve you quite well. Just like if you had bought Amazon way back in the day and held it, you know, till present, you'd have done very well off it. But nobody really wants to do that. Everybody wants that fast money. Let me tell you guys, yes, there is opportunities to make fast money out there, but more time than not, you chasing the fast money will lead to you not actually making it. For example, we posted a Deus Finance, which was a very small altcoin that has done very well. You know, there's always opportunities out there, whether that be a 20x in a month or whatever it may be. But you've just got to know what you're doing. And the overall rule, I would say, is not to chase the fast money. Slow and steady wins the race, guys. And it's the investing that I did in the bear market and in 2017, 2018 that's making me the money today, or certainly over the past year, the previous year. So that's a little bit of a side note. Of course, here we've got Clay Nation. Shout out to Clay. We have covered this project. And we did say that it was a buy. I am a Clay Nation holder. It's official. Snoop Dogg and I'm not sure who that is. Champ Medici will partner with Clay Nations to bring you iconic collectibles, unreleased music, and limited edition pitches. So pitches are there, kind of metaverse play, if you will, or tents. And this is significant, and it's really nice to see this. See the CNFT space, the Cardano NFT space actually gain a bit of notoriety. I've been very bullish on the CNFT space for a very long time. If we see the kind of adoption that the Ethereum NFT space has seen, the NFTs that are in play right now, certainly your OGs, your blue chips, they've got a long way to go. But of course, it's all a speculative game, and that's what we're in. And I don't think there's anything wrong with speculating on price and such things. So that is really all I have for you in this video, guys. If you've enjoyed this content, a like is always appreciated. So is a comment, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next YouTube video. If you guys can, if you're not already subscribed, it really helps me out. Thanks a lot for watching, ladies and gentlemen. Enjoy your Friday and enjoy your weekends, and I'll catch you all in the next YouTube video.